Alright, y'all. We back with another video, man. Y'all already know what's going on, alright? Now, check this out. I'm sure some of y'all seen this going around the internet, right? This is another tweet from Nicki Minaj. Now, in this video, we have to take a listen to the recent interview that Gucci and his wife did on The Breakfast Club. Now, unfortunately, gonna have to cover up the interview. As always, Breakfast Club will copyright it. But y'all gotta listen to this. Just real quick on this tweet. Nicki said, Gucci wife been trying to be me for years. Been dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated. Gucci hates Deborah Antony. They don't want Deb around me. She's around me now. Charlemagne the fraud, Jay-Z friend and business associate using iHeartRadio for these disgusting ploys against innocent families. He was around Wendy before her life went to hell. The buck stops here, baby. Bookmark this tweet. Y'all really do not understand who I really am. Y'all wanted attention? Let's do it. All right. She has sparked the rumor or conspiracies, whatever you want to call it again. She said Gucci wife is there to keep him sedated. Meaning she has been his handler the way we have thought this entire time. The entire time. And now the reason we have to listen to this Breakfast Club interview is because now, if you just type in Gucci's name and Gucci and his wife, every article is about Gucci coming out and admitting that he was diagnosed with being schizophrenic and I think even bipolar. So on the Breakfast Club interview, they go on to talk about these episodes that Gucci has supposedly been having even before the clone rumors, or before he went to jail and got out, looking like this. We have to hear it because even during the interview, it sounds like her job was to control Gucci and make sure he is processing whatever he is now. All right, like even we're not here to question if cloning is real. Remember that. We know cloning is real. Even if somehow this is not an imposter of Gucci, which I know this guy to the left right here is not Gucci. I cannot stress this enough. I'm willing to fight over this right here. I'm willing to fight over this. The dude to the left right here on the screen is not Gucci. That is not an egghead. The jaw is bigger. Everything is bigger. I don't care. Gucci would have the old Gucci would have never grown a beard like this. I don't even think the old Gucci could have grown a beard like this. Just look at this dude. That ain't Gucci. I don't care. Anyways, very important to listen to this interview because she basically tells you she's his handler. Without her, we probably would have been done bust this wide open. He probably would have told us himself. Remember, the CIA came out and said that Gucci wasn't a clone. When in the hell do the CIA get him? The CIA, come on. Why are they even responding to stuff happening in America? I mean, you have to think about it. I don't even know what to say. Look, before I start going off crazy about everything, let's get into this clip. Let's watch some of the interview. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about this some more. Check this out.
That this is the time to share the story. Because most people will say, I don't want to share that story. It might be embarrassing. It might make me look this way. But you were open and completely open about it. What got you to that point was like, this is the time?
I think I had an episode in like 2019 or 2020.
COVID.
Around COVID. And that was just like after that, I was like, man, I got to really just hold myself accountable and take care of my health. I don't never want to have an episode again. I'm like, I'm going to see a therapist. If I had to take medicine, I kind of like threw the towel in, like, you know, what I need to do to get better. I just didn't never want to have that happen again. And then my wife was pregnant with my little boy, and I'm like, I don't want to raise a family, and then my mental health gone. What if I have an episode I can't come back from? You know what I'm saying? So I just like starting to do the work and like start seeking the help.
And Keisha, I'm glad you're here because we always have conversations about the people who have to deal with the individuals with the mental health issues. It feels like nobody ever speaks to y'all.
It's tough.
What made you not run? Because you could have ran. You could have been like, I'm out. Nah, this ain't for me. But you stood 10 toes down and said, I'm going.
I experienced him going through episodes before we were married. And I was like, man, somebody got to help this guy. It was really, really bad. It's really sad because you're seeing someone you don't know. They're saying things to you that are disrespectful, so mean. And you have to just like, but I'm not talking to Gucci. Who is this person?
Right.
So I felt like if I left, he wouldn't have been the same. He needed someone to help him. And then when we were supposed to get married, someone said to me, you know, you're going to have to deal with this through your marriage, right? And I'm like, I'm cool with it. I'm going to fix him, you know.
How heavy was that for you, though? Because the fixing isn't like an overnight thing.
No.
I saw Gucci, you did Big Facts, and you were talking about how one time you said to him, I should record this so that you can see, because he wouldn't even remember some of the things he was doing, but it would like, you'd be like, oh my God, like what's happening right now?
Yeah.
How heavy was it in the process of trying to help him get better?
There was one point I had to just go on my knees and pray because it's like, he's like, I don't like you. I mean, the things he would say are really, really bad. And I just have to like take a deep breath. Like I said, I'm not talking to you right now. You want to sit here and be crazy alone? I'm not going to allow you to be crazy alone.
Yeah.
So like I have to like set a plan up. Like at one point I called his attorney, I called some bodyguards, and I just planned a whole kidnap, and we kidnapped him and took him to the hospital because we could not get him to the hospital. And he was trying to fight them and everything, but it was 6 of them. He couldn't handle it. And we threw him in the car. He would try to jump out the car. So we put him in the center of the car, you know? And that was like his last episode.
That's a 5150, right? That's what they call it?
When you go to the like,
Yeah, but they try to do things where he could sign himself out. And I'm like, he's not signing. Like, I'm stern with them. He's not signing himself out. I'm his wife, and I'm his power of attorney. He ain't going nowhere. Like, I have to be strict. It's kind of like you have to go in mother mode, you know, and put your foot down.
Were you ever scared?
I wasn't never scared he would hurt me. People were scared for me, but it's a scary moment. Yeah.
Because I asked her that, was she scared? And she was like, I'm not scared of you.
I tell him all the time I'm not scared of you, so we gonna figure this out. Like, I have to get gangster with him because and I'm like, all right, we gonna see. Yeah. Let's do this, you know?
in the Ice Cream Fever Dreams chapter, Gucci, you said that you said when you need help, the only person you can rely on is yourself.
Yes.
Why did you feel that way?
Because that's how I felt, especially with like, you really the only person you can do. Like, you got to do the work yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you want to like really get better, people can want it for you, but you still got to want it more than they do. You know what I'm saying? You got to want it. You got to do the work. You got to live with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why I said that.
The reason I asked is because you start the book off talking about Big Scar. And you know, you and Keisha definitely helped Big Scar in that moment when he was having an episode.
Yes.
So, I mean, you did help somebody.
Nah, I was trying my best to save Scar. I was trying my best to save Scar. And like, even he was a big inspiration for the book as well. But what was like, when I reached out to the co-writer Kathy on writing the book, I was telling her about, you know, like how I helped Scar, and you know, my wife was talking to me, but she was on, like, I wouldn't even let Scar know that she was telling me the stuff to tell him. It, like, while we writing the book, like discussing the book and just going over how we're gonna make it, Scar died. So I hear her like, you know, Scar done passed away. It went for him being the inspiration. Before I can even finish the book, he passed away. So that was just super deep, and it made me like, I gotta do this. I gotta even be more vulnerable because I'm gonna help people that I don't even know. Because I was trying to help somebody who was so close to me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't succeed.
You know, when you break down in the book that September 13th episode, right?
Yeah.
And you said you don't even remember a lot of the things that you said. Did you have to go back and say, you know what, let me fix some of those situations?
Yes.
And who did you call first to say, let me fix that? Because we were on air that morning.
Yeah.
And we just remember, it's like, damn, Gucci just going crazy on everybody. And the sad,
he was tweeting?
Yeah. And the sad thing about it, is for media press is like that's gold at first. Like, oh, this, that, and the other. Then when you sit back and look at it, be like, damn, like maybe we shouldn't have went that hard and promoted because we can see now that he was going through an episode. So the first question is
that in the book about the media's role in that.
Yeah. But to answer Envy, I was super embarrassed and hurt by the things I said because like I wasn't well then, right? So then I got locked up. So a lot of those people who I was saying stuff to, they were like, they ain't never gonna mess with me no more. So even when I got out 3 years later, I still was like, I apologize to Ross, Drake, Nicki, like all them people accepted my apology. They just don't know. It's like a weight off my shoulders because I had been like, because I was wrong. Like Ross hadn't did nothing but help me. You know what I'm saying? And I said something about him. Birdman did all this stuff for me. Why would I say something about him? So I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? I felt terribly bad. And it was just me. It was like, it was super heavy on me. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize to everybody. Everybody that would accept my apology, I apologize to. Everybody who would accept my call, I apologize to. You just think anybody who I was dissing, I apologize to.
One, look at Gucci thinking he's slick. I see that triangle. I know it. I know how he holding them hands right there. Y'all see it. You see that triangle. I know what you doing. But anyways, y'all, check this out, right? So in the beginning, I thought it was very interesting that he said he didn't want to have an episode that he wouldn't come back from. Now, before I talk about the rest of the clip, I encourage y'all to go watch the first 11 minutes. If you haven't seen it, I've already mapped it out for you. All you need to watch is the first 12 minutes, and they talk about everything I'm showing. But it's so you can see Gucci's demeanor and the way that he still looks at her for her to answer things that he's not quite remembering or knows what's going on. He doesn't really remember his so-called episodes. Now, back in 2013, they kept saying September 13th. But the tweets were in September 2013. Now, I don't know if they were also September 13th, 2013. That would be some crazy numerology. But y'all remember the tweets back in 2013, right after Gucci ended up doing 3-4 years in jail, right? I'm talking about he went off on everybody. Back then, he blamed it on lean. He didn't blame it on nothing else. Now, I will tell y'all one thing. There were rumors, and they didn't quite make it to the internet at the time. This was like before Gucci went to jail, that people would have to go and get Gucci off the middle of the highway because he was on drugs, and he would just start driving his cars, getting out of the cars and running down the highway. It was kind of like, you know, if you live here in Atlanta, you heard about it if you was just, you know, paying attention enough. People would talk about that back in those days, right? Call that whatever you want to call it, right? This was before Clone Gucci. This was before anything. So these tweets right here, y'all remember this stuff. He was talking about him and Waka having sex with Nicki. He was saying F Jeezy, Tip, Gotti, Waka, Nicki Minaj, Drake, Wu, Frenchie, all the people in his group back then. Coach K, Eminem, OJ, Quavo, Takeoff. I mean, he was dissing everybody. One thing you got to remember, though, you know, as far as Atlanta, like Gucci is pretty much responsible for everybody. Migos, Young Thug, Pee Wee Longway introduced Thug to Gucci. Some of the most influential artists, just about every artist went through Gucci. Some of the most influential artists were influenced by Gucci. I mean, Chief Keef's favorite artist growing up was Gucci. So this gives you an idea of how influential Gucci really was at that time. Basically, had the rap game in a chokehold at one time, right? Y'all remember these tweets? He said, everyone in the industry has a hidden agenda. Every person let greed and pride conquer them. It's sad, but I've been in jail so much, it humbled me. These tweets, you know, reading them again, they don't really sound like somebody who's going through a bipolar schizophrenic episode. Iggy Azalea wanna blah, blah, blah. I try not to be too vulgar with these tweets. Y'all can see it on the screen. He's talking about Rocco. He talked about Sierra. He exposed a lot. Tyga. He said, what else he said? Talked about Rocco a lot. Like he said, he talked about Rick Ross. Y'all can see these tweets on the screen. They're up long enough that y'all can read them pretty much. He even talked about Tiny, T.I.'s wife. Say he wanted to smash her little ugly self. He was saying all kind of shit, right? Damn near exposing the entire industry. Just who knows what the hell was going on with Gucci. Maybe it was that lean. Maybe it was whatever else he was on at that time. My point of all this, right? It's clear, even from the beginning, when the first clone rumors hit the internet, and we already had visual proof that this was a clone or a body double. We already thought that was not Gucci. That's just what we could see with our eyes. Then we also got the feeling that, you know, she was there to guide him, to introduce him back into the world. Y'all remember when he got out of jail? The man acted like he couldn't do anything. He acted like he couldn't even rap, talk, work a phone, nothing. She had to do everything for him. Everything. Almost like this was a new body with Gucci's consciousness in the body. It's like she taught him everything. That's why I said I encourage you to go watch the first 11 and 12 minutes, because you get to see their interactions sitting next to each other, and he still looks over to her to say and finish certain things. You can tell. You can feel it with them two. It honestly is kind of freaky. This is a crazy situation when you really think about this shit. Because we're seeing live a person who is not himself anymore. And it's not because he worked out and got healthy. Out of nowhere, they're just trying to say that all that stuff was schizophrenia and bipolar, and he's officially been diagnosed with it. Gucci sitting there really trying to sell that he wasn't well. He was going through it. That he tried to save Big Scar off his label from going through the same thing, saying that Big Scar was the one who inspired the book about mental health. And then all of a sudden, he dies from an overdose or whatever. He the one out of everybody that inspired the book. Don't that sound crazy to y'all? It just don't make no sense. And I just find this to be one freaky ass situation with his wife. Not to mention she looking crazy as hell too. I ain't seen her in a while. I don't follow her on Instagram or nothing. Her face ain't even moving when she talk. Whatever she done got done to her face and stuff, one side bigger than the other, her jawline higher on one side, she looking crazy too. And to me, that's just spooky. Like she his handler for sure, but man, this shit is on a whole nother level. Just like how when the CIA felt like they needed to come and say that Gucci wasn't a clone, y'all, this shit way deeper than just some old, you know, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say, because people be like, why they wanted to clone Gucci, why they wanted to do this. You had to realize, you know, what he was exposing back then. No artist was like willing to say. No artist back in 2013, he would have been on the verge of really telling every fucking thing that goes on in the industry. The influence that Gucci had was outstanding. But who really knows? Who really knows, man? Let's go ahead and check out like 2 or 3 more minutes. I want y'all to hear something else about how she controlled him so he didn't have any episodes since that last rant that he did on Twitter back in 2013. So she said that she has been making sure, you know, she controls everything, his phone and all this other shit, apps and everything, so the internet or the public never sees when he has an episode. Check this out.
You see artists doing that now. Do you know exactly what they're going through?
Yes. I do.
We be like, Sunsets going through an episode. I can see it because I'd have been through it. And I'm like, I be feeling sorry for him, you know what I'm saying? But because I see the media, they just go with it. like this person like mad or they being, you know, like mean or whatever, but they be like going through something really mental. It be some mental health stuff going on.
Do you reach out to any of those artists?
I'm trying to think. Did I reach out? Now I don't do a lot of reaching out because some of them like I feel like they wouldn't be accepting of it. You know what I'm saying? But
Because you wouldn't be accepted at that time.
You don't.
yeah, at that point you can't really talk to them like that. But like my wife say, I wish I could talk to the people that know them to tell them how to help them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tried to reach out to Kim when Kanye was going through an episode. It bothered me so much, but I don't know her, and I didn't want to feel like a groupie.
Yeah.
So I tried to send messages to people. I never succeeded, but this was during their marriage. I'm like, damn, I want to talk to her so bad. Like, I can help you, but I never was successful.
We talked about that on air the other day because
Yeah.
she sat down with Call Her Daddy and talked about what it was like on the inside, but also trying to protect their public image and the way she thought people would look at her if she decided to leave. For you, what was it like? I mean, because we're talking about Kim, what was it like just trying to protect the business that you guys have built while
I have a
he's
system.
personally?
I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because I don't need the public to know he's having an episode. You realize you'd never know about any other episodes since September 13th
yeah.
because I control that. Because you're not going on Instagram, you're not going on Twitter, it's deleted. You know, and I just control everything at home. And now before the episodes come, I catch it. So that's why he hasn't had another one. And how you catch that is he doesn't speak to you. He wants to be left alone. He don't eat. He does not sleep. Text messages, there's a period after each word. And I'm like, you're going through an episode. You're sick. No, I'm not. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Why do you think that? You're not speaking to me. Well, there's nothing to talk about. I said, well, that's not how you speak to your wife. And I'm like, you're sick. And we snap out of it right then.
Wow.
Wow. You know, we heard Kim this week say how Kanye just used to give away their cars and stuff when he would go through episodes. And in the book, you talk about
I did
He
that.
did.
you just used to be giving away stuff.
He
I,
did.
I gave away jury.
Money.
And
Jury
money,
costs so
yeah.
much. You know how much it costs for jury? Like,
Yeah.
I would give my friends jury, and like they know I went well, they'll take it.
Damn.
They take
That's why,
advantage
like,
of you.
I felt like, damn, they know something's going on with me, but they'll take it. So it's like, when I got out of jail, like I cut off all my friends, my old friends. 'Cause I'm like, damn, they were taking advantage. You know what I'm saying? It was straight taking advantage. I was giving away money.
I wonder what the psychology is behind that. Like, why when you're going through an episode, you feel
Give
like,
away money, and I don't know.
You don't care
You're not
about
in your
nothing.
mind because the money don't. It's not. You kind of like in a warped world. It's almost like it's a psychosis. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You dealing with stuff like you hearing voices.
Yeah, they have voices.
You know, and you hearing voices too. Like it's telling you to. You know, you might think that Charlamagne I might think that you trying to fight me. You ain't even did nothing. We be like, bro, I ain't did nothing to you. What's wrong? Like I'll be like trying to fight you, Charlamagne. Like you did this. You know what you did? You stole something from me. And you be like, bro, I ain't stole nothing from you. But in my mind, I'm like, it's the truth.
Now, that part kind of answer the question about Gucci cutting everybody off, including family and all kinds of people when he got out of jail. He says it's because he was giving his friends jewelry and money, and they were taking it knowing that he wasn't well. And this is why he cut everyone off, and he was only with his wife in an entirely different state in Florida, moved out of Atlanta, so on and so on, right? I call bullshit. I think, the plan was to get him out of Atlanta where people actually knew who he was. He had to be away from everyone in order to get his training into this new person that he is, or whoever this is, acting like they Gucci, whatever this imposter has going on, whatever agenda they were pushing. They had to get him away from people who actually knew him. That's why when he got out of jail, only certain artists were able to come and see him. Ones that have took the oath and they're not going to say anything, to make it look semi-normal. Get him away from his family, friends who really know the real Gucci. They would have pointed out that this is not him from the jump. So I don't think, it's just because he was giving them money and jewelry and they took advantage of it. They said, hey, you giving it to me? Cool, I'm going to take it. Don't this all seem so fitting that, Kim Kardashian just went on that podcast and we covered it. And she talked about Kanye giving away all their cars to their friends. And then now, Gucci and his wife come on a radio and now they start talking about mental health and the same things. And the wife is saying she would delete his apps, take his phone, do this and do that. So the public doesn't know what he's going through or that he's having a so-called episode. To me, this sounds like an excuse to now let y'all know that no, this is not a clone. He just suffers from being bipolar and having schizophrenia. This is the excuse that we're going to tell y'all. We're going to come out and tell y'all that this is why he was going through all this shit. Gucci don't even remember none of the stuff, bro. He doesn't even remember it. You can tell. He doesn't remember. I don't think this, from the time where we thought he was a clone when he got out of jail, he don't have no memories of before that. It's clear. That's why I said this some whole freaky ass get out kind of shit. He don't know what the hell even happened. She tells him what happened. And now I think, they done came up with this thing and told him he's schizophrenia and however you say that shit, and he bipolar, he this and that. So he actually has a story now. The industry believes that he's diagnosed with something to cover up for the shit that he don't remember. He said he on drugs. He got prescribed medicine that works for him. Notice how he said that works for me. Bro, this nigga, he don't remember nothing, bro. And this stuff with Gucci is deep. Deep with him and his wife, y'all. When I heard the interview and I started listening, I couldn't believe it almost. I almost couldn't believe it. That's why I'm just talking in this video, because it really confirms it. And you can just tell he does not remember a damn thing, bro. Talking about he hearing voices and stuff. That's demons. That's when you get to talking. Ain't no such thing as being schizo. Them demons. You hearing voices, you are hearing demons. Ain't nobody else talking to you. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is very spiritual. That's stuff you can't see. How can you, diagnose somebody with being a schizo? You can't test the blood and tell that you schizo. You know what I'm saying? That's spiritual stuff right there. Very deep topic, y'all. Very deep topic. I thought that was a must for us to talk about, to dig into the psyche of what's been going on behind the scenes with Gucci and his wife, Keisha. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all definitely go watch some of that interview. Like I said, watch the first 12 minutes. Very interesting, y'all. That being said, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.